just like to introduce myself. My name is Jason. I'm a qualified wine sommelier. For 25 years I've been working as a wine sommelier. I've been working in the UK, at Gleneagles Hotel, worked 7 years in New Zealand, and a couple of years on the cruise ships. So I've had quite a lot of experience in wine. So I decided to use that experience and write a book. So my first book I wrote was Jason's Guide to Wine Service. So this is a simple wine book. It's not an in-depth wine knowledge book, it's just simple. So it has simple knowledge about wine service, how to serve wine, the temperatures of wine, the different styles of wine, and it goes through the simple grape varieties. Now it's not a big book, so that it's not going to go through all the grape varieties, but it goes through the main grape varieties, the ones that you need to know when you're working in hospitality, like Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Shiraz, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and Pinot Grigio. It also goes through the sparkling wines. It also tells you a bit about the wine regions, so you know different regions of the wine, like France, Bordeaux, Burgundy, because France can be quite complex when it comes to wine. You know, Bordeaux, for example, has their own grape varieties. Burgundy has their own grape varieties, so it's quite different structured. But this book will cover the basics of it. So if you're like a waiter, bartender, or you maybe just want to get into hospitality, this is a good book, a starting book. It's like a beginner's foundation book for anybody wanting to get into wine and hospitality. And even if you don't want to work in hospitality, maybe you just enjoy wine, you want to learn about wine, it's a good book as well. So this is my book. You can find a link on this video. Now my other book is more of a fun book. So this is not really a kind of a educational book, although it does have some wine facts and wine knowledge that is helpful. But it's more of a Christmas time is coming. You need Christmas gifts. This is a good little Christmas gift to give to someone. So it's a fun little, I call it a scrapbook. So basically what I came up with, I wrote some wine stories of my own, like, the kind of wines I had at Christmas time, the stories of wine at Christmas time, because Christmas and wine is a big thing, When Christmas time comes, people do look at buying some nice wines to go with their meal. Because it's a once in a year celebration. You want to get some nice wines, you want to have a celebration and enjoy Christmas with some good wines. So this book is a fun book, and there is also some blank pages in the book. So don't think, there's nothing in there, it's just a couple of blank pages. There's quite a lot of blank pages or with not a lot of words in it. Yes, that's purposely done like that, because I want you to add your own stories. So you can do whatever you want. You can write your own Christmas memories, your own Christmas stories that revolve around wine, or you can put stickers like, maybe you take some photos of dinner time, the wines you had. It's up to you. It's your book to give yourself memories of your Christmas wine experience. And there is some funny little stories in it. Now, I also wrote a third book, and that's called Scottish Food and Wine Pairing. Now, there are quite a lot of books that cover wine pairings and food, but they cover the generalisation of food and wine. There's not really a book that covers Scottish produce and wine. And I thought, I live in Scotland, I've experienced the Scottish produce, I've lived and worked in places like Gleneagles, Perthshire, so I can know the area, and they have quite a lot of good agriculture and good produce. Like you have the Perthshire lamb, you have Isle of Skye, you have the langoustines, you have the lobsters. There's quite a lot of food in Scotland, and you have, of course, a traditional haggis. Now, haggis doesn't traditionally go with wine. It's not really a wine of pairing as such. Traditionally, haggis goes with whiskey, but there are wines that will go with haggis, and I have looked at that in this book. Now, this book does tell you kind of what Scottish produce goes with which wine. It's not a rule. You can choose your own wine pairings, whatever you like. If you like a white wine to go with your haggis, have a white wine. Maybe you want a Chardonnay, or you want a Viognier, or you want an Albarino. That's fine. If you enjoy that, that's fine, that's good. But I'm just giving you kind of a generalisation of what food is good with Scottish produce. And it's a good little book. It's it tells you a lot about the Scottish regions, the Highlands, the West Coast, East Coast. So it's a good geography book if you want to read a bit about Scottish geography and food and wine. So I'm looking, of course, I'm not using Scottish wines because Scotland don't make wine. We do make wine, but we don't make grape wine, the traditional grape wine that everybody knows. We make fruit wine, so we make wine from like rhubarb, strawberry, raspberries. Now these are more kind of sweeter style wines. I haven't really covered them in this book, but maybe I'll cover that one day in another book. I'll wait till summertime. That is a good book for summertime. So that may be a future book that I'll write, looking at Scottish fruit wines and their pairings. It's mostly in Perthshire. You get lots of fruit farms that do strawberry wines, raspberry wines, and as I said, they are quite on the sweeter style. They go nice with desserts or whatever. They go nice on their own, So yes, that's my wine books. You can find the links on this video. And before I go, I wrote another book. It's not a wine book, but it does involve wine. The characters in the book do drink wine. It's a fictional book. So I love fiction, fantasy. I love stuff like Lord of the Rings, all that kind of stuff. I brought up in the 80s with the Legend movie, that movie? All those kind of fantasy movies, never-ending story. And I've always wanted to write a fantasy fiction. Now this is not on the scale of Tolkien. This is definitely not the scale of Tolkien. It's quite a small book. Tolkien wrote quite large books, and he went in depth. This does not go in depth. I'm not Tolkien. I'm not trying to be Tolkien, but he did give me the influence. Tolkien is like the godfather for fantasy fiction, and we fantasy writers have used his inspiration for our own stories. So I came up with this story after a bottle of wine. Yes, I had a bottle of red the next day, feeling the effects of the wine as you do, walking down the street, think to myself, I would love to write a book. And then suddenly, this story came in my head. And I was thinking, you know what, why don't I write it? If it's good, it's good. If not, I tried. So this is my book. It's called The Legend of Time. This is the first book. So it's Zishan and the Mighty Dragon. So the book, I'm not going to tell you much about the book, but it's a fantasy book set in a fantasy island. I made up the island myself. It's set in Southeast Asia, so it's set between Indonesia and Antarctica. So when you read the book, the climate's going to be a little different. Don't start thinking, oh, the climate's not like that in Indonesia. This is a fantasy book, it's a fictional book, so do not kind of take the geography of that region to heart and say, this is not how it is in real life. Of course it's not. It's a fantasy book. That's why it's called fantasy fiction. So it's about a warrior who finds a small dragon, who becomes a mighty dragon, and they go on a quest together with a mystery man. And they go on a quest to save a princess from a dragon king, an evil dragon king. That's all I'll tell you in the book. It's quite a good book. I really enjoyed writing it. And I am writing a second book where they are going another quest. They go on a quest to Flores, Indonesia, and to the Himalayas. So I'm currently writing that book, though that should come out maybe next year. But anyway, the main focus was these wine books. And I hope you enjoy them. As I said, if you are looking to get into hospitality and you are new to the industry and you want to learn about wine, it's a good little foundation book. And this is a fun Christmas book. So Christmas is coming up. You can read this and you can give your Christmas memories. And this is also a good book for Christmas. It's a good little Christmas gift to give to somebody. It's a new fantasy fiction. Someone who likes fantasy fiction, maybe. You can say, oh, hey, you know what? Let's try that. Maybe you read it first, then you see how it is. But if you know someone who likes dragons and kind of medieval style folklore, then it's a good little book. Well, I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I will see you in the future when I write some more books. Thank you, and enjoy your Christmas, and have a great New Year. Thank you very much.